All right, we are here
Okay.
for another episode of the Brothers-in-Law podcast, and I have a very special guest here, Adem. Adem, thank you for being here, and
Yeah, I appreciate it.
I'm really excited to get into it for
Yeah.
the people to get to know who you are,
Yeah.
you know, what you do and what you're running for.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right, before we dive into it, I want to give you a bit of background into the podcast
Yeah.
and also like our focus on local politics.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, I started as a public defender. I was a public defender in the Bronx.
Mm-hmm.
That was my first job out of law school.
Like Bronx Defender.
Bronx Defenders.
Yeah.
Yeah, first job out of law school. There for 7 years.
Mm-hmm.
Really loved it. Really fulfilling work.
It's the Lord's work.
I believe that.
Truly the
I
Lord's
believe
work.
that. Very passionate about the work that I did there.
Yeah.
For those who are even remotely familiar with public defender work, it is a high volume work. It is a high stress work. It leads to a lot of burnout. And I got to the point to where I was getting to that burnout part for me.
Mm-hmm.
I needed to figure out another way to utilize my energy to kind of keep me going.
Right.
And I didn't want to leave public defense work yet. So I decided to do something creative with the knowledge that I've learned as a public defender.
Right.
And that ended up being 3 things. It was 1, I wanted to do community work. So like do events for the community, know your rights trainings,
Right.
just informationals to come talk about the law and understand
Right.
different concepts, abolition, things like that.
Right.
I created a scholarship fund. I was able to award a couple students who are pursuing careers in public defense while they were studying for the bar. So that was pretty fun.
Mm-hmm.
And then started a podcast.
Okay.
And the idea behind the podcast was to be able to express and explain our rights,
Right.
share stories of those impacted by the system,
Mhm.
and just bring more attention to this world of criminal law, the legal system. And it's evolved since then.
Okay.
Among the community events that we did, we started hosting town hall events.
Okay.
And I think the first one was sparked around the 2024 presidential election.
Mm-hmm.
There was a lot of thoughts about that, a lot of feeling, a lot of emotions. And we ended up doing it afterwards. And it focused on our right to vote and people's choice not to vote,
Mhm.
people's feelings and expressions about politics,
Right.
nationally and locally. And it naturally gravitated to like, okay, people are really jaded with national politics. And I took it upon myself to have this new mission of educating people and getting them excited about local politics and understanding that, you know, local politics is really kind of what impacts our lives a little bit more than the national politics. And I think I'm achieving that a little bit.
Okay.
So it started with like, okay, I really want to get the people who I share space with to care about their community and the things that dictate their community.
Right.
So I started having more conversations about local politics. And my co-host, who you'll hope we get to meet one day, Conrad Blackburn,
Mm-hmm.
he also was a public defender.
Right.
And he's now running for state assembly, you know? So like
in the mix.
in the mix, we had the privilege of being able to interview Zoran Mamdani before he got elected. So like I didn't know, yeah, I didn't know what I was stepping into when I told myself I wanted to be a bit more in the world of local
Right.
politics, and it just kind of happened all at once.
Right.
And now getting a chance to interview you,
Yeah.
for you to share your story, it's alignment for me.
Right.
I mean, I am a believer. I believe that things are aligning right now. And I think getting the chance to interview you and continue the conversation about local politics is exactly where I'm supposed to be in the convo we're having right now.
Oh man, I feel very humbled and touched. I mean, you really talked about a couple of things that I think are incredibly powerful, which is like all of this was anchored in community, right?
Yeah.
You're helping the most vulnerable, folks who can't often defend themselves, don't have access to capital to
Right.
navigate a criminal justice system that we know has often been tilted against folks who look like us,
Right.
or who come from marginalized backgrounds. And so, yeah, I think that just trajectory in terms of like, where is this going in terms of
Right.
politics, I think is a natural place. So I'm excited to talk and
Yeah.
to be in conversation in
Yes.
space.
Yes.
So, yeah.
All right. So this is how I want to do it. Let's start with, what are you running for? And then we'll let the conversation go where it goes.
Comptroller.
Comptroller.
I know Drake says control. It's a different thing. But
the
no.
New York State Comptroller.
Yeah, New York State Comptroller. I think it's a job that is incredibly important, but often overlooked, not thought about. But that's largely because the office as it is managed today and in years past has really been on the sidelines.
Yeah.
But in its history and its origin,
yeah,
actually has an enormous amount of authority in terms of being able to shape the state's economic trajectory. Really, the comptroller is the state's economic guardian.
Okay.
Like things that are important or key to the state's economic future, all of that rests with the state comptroller.
Okay.
And the two ways that this plays out is, one, they are the sole trustee of the state's pension fund.
Okay.
The pension fund is the money for retirements for all the people who work in New York State government.
Yeah.
And then the other important element is the auditing function, which is making sure that money is supposed to be going where it's supposed to be going. And so to me, there is an enormous amount to do in order to reshape the state's economic architecture.
Yeah.
And as we all know, when you follow the money, you get to very interesting, different places that you didn't think you were going to go.
Yeah.
And so my point is if we can not only follow the money, but use the money in the way in which it should be, then a lot of the things we see on housing, on transit, on wages, prices, but more importantly, opportunity start to become very different. And so that, in essence, is why I decided to run. So,
okay. So it's not a legislative role, but it does impact policy pretty significantly.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah, in the state constitution, the comptroller operates independently of the governor and the legislature.
Okay.
So they are their own one-man bandman in some respect.
Got you. I consider myself a novice in my education about local politics, and even in my limited education, I still
You're very humble.
Thank you. But even in my limited education, I don't know much about what the comptroller does.
Yeah.
And you mentioned that the way it has been stewarded in the past has not necessarily been the most productive.
No.
As those of us who don't really pay attention to how the state money budget is being used, can you give us examples of how it has been misused or ways it could have been used better?
Absolutely. You think you pay too much for rent?
Yes.
Do you make enough money?
No, I do not.
Do you think prices are too high?
Absolutely.
Do you think, more importantly, the children that are going to come after you have better shot at opportunity than you do?
I would love that to happen.
So that's why it all matters. And so for me, when you really think about the office, a lot of it, again, a lot of its authorities sort of rests within these two dimensions, which is like managing the pension fund and this auditing function.
Okay.
Now, if you listen to some folks, it's like, well, auditing is auditing. We give you the reports. Then the legislature and the governor are supposed to do whatever they're supposed to do with it. And the pension fund, hey, we don't do anything. We're here to just make sure that the money gets to retirees.
Yeah.
All of that's true. I still think there's more to be done. For us, back to this idea of like the comptroller being the economic guardian of the state. So if we are returning a pension fund to, let's say, I'm going to give you an example. Your cousin works at this MTA.
Okay.
30 years.
Yeah.
Gets a pension at the end of it and can't afford to live in the house that they live in. Well, what good was the pension then? Seriously.
Yeah.
Yeah, like if you come back to me and you tell me, man, I can't even pay Con Ed, or man, I went to Stop and Shop, bro. Woo, boy, that grocery bill was like $200.
Yeah.
Or you know what, man, I'm actually trying to look out for my little godson or my kid.
Yeah.
And guess what? Not enough money to really make an investment there. So All of these things are incredibly important, and they are actually threatening the state's economic future. Yeah, like I know we're talking about tax policy right now. So, because, Mayor Mamdani and Kathy, they're having a fight about whether or not to raise taxes and the like. And part of the support of the idea around taxes or higher taxes is, well, all these rich people are going to leave. And if they leave, then the economy is going to fall apart.
Right.
You know what's really threatening the economy?
What's that?
Nobody having a place to live. All those people are leaving. Like, I'm going to Houston. I'm going to Charlotte. I'm going to Atlanta. I can't afford to live here.
Yeah.
That's what threatens the state's economy. And so, to me, the comptroller, in my view, needs to use all of the tools at their disposal to address these structural failures in housing, in prices, in wages, and in opportunity. So how do we do that? The trust fund. So one of the ideas I put forward when we first dropped this past December, January was, why don't we create a trust fund for the children of our state? What do I mean? We got $20 billion in unclaimed funds. You know unclaimed funds? All right, another quick example.
Yeah.
You got $1,000 at JP Morgan, the Chase, the bank account. You like, man, New York, I'm over it. I'm going to New Jersey. And you go to New Jersey and JP's like, hey, man, you left $1,000. You just like, bro, I can't even be bothered. I'm out of here.
Yeah.
By law, JP Morgan has to turn over the money to the state. And so there's monies like this throughout unclaimed funds. Gift cards, insurance policies, bank accounts, dormant, use all sorts of things. And that money piles up.
You said there's
$20 billion.
$20 billion.
Yeah, $20 billion. And my view is, man, that's a lot of money.
So what's happening with those unclaimed funds?
Guess what they're doing with it? The state is spending the money on the assumption that, man, a lot of these people are not coming back to go get this money. So they're plugging budget gaps, doing all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
My view is like, man, that's actually not a great use of the money. Why don't we take the money, put it in an investment account, and let's say it's $20 billion at 5% return, which is a conservative return. We give you $1 billion in cash. So if we do that, we can create a seed account for every child in our state. There's about 200,000 kids born every year. We give them $1,000 each. And at age 18, you can put a down payment toward a house. You can take care of a sick parent like I've had to. You can start a business, or you can go to college or vocational school. And my view is that's a better way in which we think about our resources and our assets. Because guess what? Our most important and most valuable resource asset is our people. And if we can't invest in our people, if we can't keep our people, there's no economy. And so to me, that's at the heart and root of it. But it's also born out of my own lived experience, which is, my parents came here, refugees from Uganda.
So I want to talk about that. So what the comptroller is a really specific
the comptroller's really
role.
Yeah.
Why running for comptroller? What led you to this spot now?
Good question.
And in that question, I know that you also ran for Congress.
Oh, Congress,
twice.
Yeah, a U.S. Congress.
So what led you to want to be involved in politics in the beginning?
To do all this dumb shit?
And then why the pivot from Congress to comptroller?
Yeah. So again, I think it starts with two people who are often not in these conversations. My parents. Yeah, my pops came here, again, $50 in his pocket, clothes he was wearing, extra set in a suitcase, managed to get here, could barely speak English, worked at McDonald's, Dunkin' Donuts, a janitor, security guard, you name it, did it all. Went to an ICE center. They call it ICE now, but it was INS back in the day.
Yeah.
Went to detention center, was able to get his petition for asylum granted through the help of legal aid. And so that's why I always shout out defenders, legal aid.
Yeah.
Those are the real heroes in our society.
Absolutely.
and saved up enough money and brought my mom. I grew up in a tiny little 1-bedroom apartment. I'm one of 6. I was born at Elmhurst Hospital.
Wow.
That apartment was like 3 or 4 blocks down the road, Elmhurst and Broadway. And, you know, while we didn't have much. I mean, the rent was, I don't know, $400.
Man.
You can't even find an apartment for $400 in this city.
Right.
But why I note that is because that apartment offered the stability, the anchor for the life that I now have been able to lead.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I went through, and because housing to me is the most central public good, right? It like determines your radius of opportunity. Like if you have a house that's near your school or near a public library or public park or public hospital, like you are now around a sort of, call it safety net of goods that can allow you to kind of have a springboard to go and do everything or what you want to do in life.
Right.
And my concern is like, if we don't solve the housing question in our city or state, then this whole thing falls apart.
Right.
And so that's what led me to run for Congress to begin with. I was just like, look, I live in central Brooklyn. Rent is up like 20, 30%. And nobody was saying anything. Oh, you know, the developer is it. And I'd served on the community board for years. And so many ways, like the community board was like the air traffic control. Like you could see how this rent thing was playing out. Because you see the new bars that are moving in. You see the complaints from the neighbors. You see all of the issues, the seeds of gentrification kind of sort of bubbling up to the surface. And so my view is like, no one's talking about this in Congress.
Right.
This is an important issue. And here is the epicenter of the housing crisis. Fast forward, housing crisis has only gotten worse. And nobody, like my concern is like the train is now off the tracks. And to get it back onto the tracks will require something actually fundamentally more dramatic than legislation. Like legislation alone isn't going to solve New York's housing crisis. And so that's how I kind of came to thinking about the Office of the State Comptroller. Because they have this enormous financial authority over the state's economic situation. My view was, look, if you look at the Canadian pension funds, the ones in Ontario, Quebec, not only are they generating better returns than our pension fund, but they're investing in energy, transportation infrastructure, housing. The one in Quebec just built a train system in Montreal. And so you look at their kind of, again, economic situation. Not only do they have cheaper housing, they've got cheaper energy costs, they've got lower transportation costs, but they're also generating better returns. Why can't we use this as a model for us to attack housing or to attack energy or to attack transportation? And so that's what I mean, like, and by the way, do very well, make a lot of money for retirees. Like, I don't want to confuse anyone. Like, this is going to make money for the people who the pension fund benefits. And so I don't see why we shouldn't do that. And so, again, it's not only my lived experience, but just my own professional and community experience that is just like, I think the Office of the State Comptroller is an interesting place to do a lot of fascinating and groundbreaking work that can help rewrite what everyone agrees is this broken contract here in New York.
Okay. So I want to channel what I believe people from my community may ask you.
Sure.
Okay. So I think people from my community who don't really know much about what you do.
Right.
And when they're determining if they should vote for you,
Right.
I think the first question is going to be, what is your experience? What qualifies
Who is this
you?
ninja? Talk about all this wild, crazy stuff.
What is your, I hate the word qualification, but what are your qualifications?
Sure.
What is your history that you can ensure people that this is a role that you can steward?
Absolutely. For me, it starts, so my experience, I break it into two parts.
Okay.
Lived and professional. So when we talk about housing, this isn't like, oh man, he read a book and they thought it was a housing crisis. Like, not like I grew up in a 1-bedroom apartment, roaches, mice, the whole bit. Like, I know why housing is important. Or when we talk about opportunity, like, I know why. Like, I had 2 parents who would have given life and limb. I went to public schools, and by the virtue of grace of God, their hard work, my hard work, not only did I get to go to some fancy schools like boarding school or Haverford College or Harvard Business School. Like, it was this exact model that we need to replicate for everybody else. So this isn't, so from the lived experience, I think that's one. Professional is like, look, I started off as an organizer for WFP, for the Working Families Party. Literally knocking doors. In rain, sleet, snow, sun, the whole bit. Clean and fair elections. That was the first campaign. And my views or my sort of basis for thinking about a lot of these ideas actually stems from that experience. Now, I worked in finance as well. I worked in state government at the Empire State Development Corp, the state's economic development agency. As I mentioned, went to Harvard Business School. Worked at one of the biggest CDFIs in the country.
Flex a little bit, okay?
Yeah,
it's okay.
Parents taught me to.
You said I was humble. It's okay to it's okay to flex a little bit when I'm talking about your.
But I'm saying, you know, then running Coro New York, like public, private, social sector experience, and having been leadership in all of those phases is the basis for how I think about a lot of these issues. And because, I think the other understated element about the comptroller's role is it's a real manager job. Like there's nearly 4,000 employees there. So the question about how do you not only manage the state's economic considerations, there's an actual organization behind it and moving that forward. And so to me, it comes from a place of values, obviously, again, born out of my set of lived experiences and professional experiences. But it's also about how do we bring those values to bear and pair it with technical and professional expertise on these ideas. Because I don't want to bullshit people. Like, what I'm trying to do, what we're talking about, this stuff is hard. Like it's going to be a fight to do this. And so the question becomes is, are you prepared for the fight?
That's good. I think there's a big gap between those of people who are already involved in politics and those who are not. And what I see often is those who are involved tell those who are not involved to do your research, but they don't necessarily give them guidance. And I asked this question to Conrad when I was talking to him about his run for state assembly. So if there's someone who, if you have a chance to speak to like, let's say 100 people. And I'm now in education, so I teach at Seton Hall Law School.
Oh, okay. Wow.
And one of the fun things I get to do,
an academic, man.
Hey, it's a new venture for me.
Oh man, Renaissance.
One of the things I've been doing is creating rubrics, and it's fun. I get to give an assignment, and I get to decide what I'm looking for in that assignment, and it's a really fun activity for me to do. So if you're going to tell people who are considering voting for comptroller, what rubric should they apply when they're evaluating the candidates?
I think that's a great question. No one has really asked that before. I gotta be honest, I haven't really heard that question really posed in politics generally.
I think it's important.
I think it's incredibly important
for people who are so removed.
If
I tell my friend, hey, I really want you to be involved and I want you to research the candidates and know when to
I
vote for
think
somebody?
it's a fantastic question. So a couple of things. What's their vision? Right? I got to be honest. I never really chose politics for the sake of it. But there are a lot of people who do.
Yeah.
And look, to each is their own.
Yeah.
But I think part of the reason why we have the problems we have is like, I think a lot of people want the title, but aren't really trying to do much. And I get why people are frustrated with politicians.
Yeah.
It makes a ton of sense. It's just like, what do these people care about?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now, obviously, everyone runs around, we care about you, we care about your people, blah, 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 we love you, this and that. And then you kind of see it play out. Like, that's why my mom's words, don't pay attention to how people behave and what they say. And so I would ask, what's your vision? Like, what are you actually trying to accomplish?
Yeah.
So that would be one. Two is, professional experience. Like, okay, so I hear you have a theory of change, right? Tell me, what is your capacity? What are your values, judgment, temperament in order to execute on this said vision, right? So that would be kind of the next question.
Yeah.
Then I would say 3 is, what is your lived experience in addressing this vision, right? Like, how did you, like, what forms the basis for why you believe like this vision should even be the case, right?
Yeah.
So take, for example, like the Opportunity Trust Fund. Like, why do you think that's important? Like, where is that? Did you teach children? Were you a child who might have benefited from? Like, walk us through why that, what links your biography to the vision, right? And then I would say, and this is more amorphous because this isn't really like a quantitative answer. But, I will say voters are really good at picking this up, which is just your vibe, right? Like, does this guy actually look like a son of a bitch you could try? Yeah, I'm not even trying to be. Like, some people pick up on like, man, I don't know about this one, man. Like, and I think, again, I mean, everyone says Zoran has great vibes. And then something about it, just bad vibe. Yeah, this is an Epstein vibe. Like, I don't like this vibe. You know what I mean? Like, and je ne sais quoi, like, when you see it. But I do think those 4 things need to be taken into account. Like, what is this person's vision? Like, what's their capacity, credibility to execute on it? Like, how does their biography inform that? And then, like, just like, does this cat move in a way, he or she move in a way that is like conducive to you, like that conforms to you, right? Because I think a lot of the times people will give you the benefit of the doubt, right? If, for instance, you know what, I don't agree with every piece of his vision or her vision, but they coming at it from the right place. You know what I mean?
100%.
Yeah, like, that's why I'm not a big person into polling, because I'm just like, I'll give you an example. If I remember this correctly, so forgive me if someone posted, you post this and someone's, that story's totally wrong. Like, okay. This is nonsense. That didn't happen that way. But if I remember correctly, I think Steve Jobs, this is the time when he was creating the iPod and iPhone, all this stuff.
Remember that.
And I think the Apple people had like done like a poll. And it was just like, do you want this product? And the overwhelming answer was no. Right? I don't care for an iPod. I don't care for any of this. And again, I'm not comparing this to Steve, but I raise this story to say that just because because his whole thing was like, yeah, that doesn't matter. I think this is once I build it, I think people will want it.
Right.
And in essence, he was right, which was, oh yeah, this wasn't the top of my mind, but it now has created so much use for me,
right,
that I think it's valuable.
Mm.
And I would argue to some degree, like politics at its best takes you to a place that you didn't think you wanted to go.
Right.
Or you didn't think you needed to go.
Right.
And that's leadership.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Mm-hmm.
To take you to a place that you didn't think I could get to.
Yeah.
Or I didn't think was in the realm of possibility. Or I didn't even know existed. And I will say, that's what I kind of lament about politics today.
Mm.
And why last year gave me rays of hope.
Mm.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And in the sense that, like, man, Zoran could take us to a place nobody thought we wanted to go or knew we needed to go to.
Right.
And to me, especially in a world of Trump and his ridiculousness, I think there are a lot of people who are just like, yo, where are we supposed to be going?
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? Like, literally, like, how did we get here?
Yeah.
Where are we now?
Yeah.
And where should we be going? And I just think we can either see that as, oh man, we should despair, or that's an opportunity for us to be like, oh, let's take a ride to a place we probably didn't know we needed to go to.
Yeah.
So
that's good. I've thought about that question a lot, the rubric question.
Yeah.
And as someone who is not well versed in just the language of politics.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you would agree with this or not, but like I agree. I like those 4 points that you pointed out.
Right.
For me, because I'm not so familiar with these roles, experience is something that I don't know if I attribute enough importance to. If I were to order them, I would go values and morals, vibes, vision, experience. And the reason why I put it in that order is anyone could talk a good vision.
Oh, of course.
Anyone could talk a really good vision. And I can imagine a world in which there are really...
Actually, I take that back. I don't agree with you, actually.
Okay.
I actually think it's actually kind of hard to come up with a good vision.
Really?
Yeah, I think it's very difficult to... Like, it kind of gets to my point about vibes, which is just like, being compelling is unique.
Yeah.
Like, I actually think it's kind of hard to be compelling.
Yeah.
It's kind of why we value it. Yeah. Like, oh, wow. Like, you don't really come across compelling people very often.
That's fair.
So I would actually push back a little bit. I think it's a little hard to do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm imagining a world in which, let's say, it was 5 people running for mayor, and they all were running on this idea of affordability. And it was hard for me to choose, all right, all these visions sound good. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know who to trust. So I think then the next step would go, okay, what's their experience? What's their professional expertise? But to me, like, if I don't really know much about that role, what matters more to me is the type of person you are. Like, do I think you're a good person? What are your morals? What are your values? What do you stand on? What are the vibes? I feel like that is easier for someone who's not in politics to read than expertise.
I agree with you, actually.
Yeah.
I don't put much premium on experience. Mm-hmm. And you want me to be honest?
Yes.
I think most voters don't give a fuck about experience.
Yeah.
Yeah. Some of your best or most well-known didn't have a lick of the experience.
And I think we learned that with Zoran. We learned it with Zoran.
Yeah, like, and that's my point.
Yeah.
Which is, I actually think less about, oh, what job did you have before? Blah 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 blah. I'm more in your view of like, do you have the right set of values? Mm-hmm. And how you have lived those values?
Yeah.
So the experience to me is more of, demonstrate to me why those values actually mattered. Like, that's actually what I care more about.
Yeah.
I care more about like your temperament.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of these, especially like being mayor or the executive sort of posts, you have to have a good temperament. Like, managing that, I think, is incredibly important.
Yeah.
And again, you could tell me, oh, I was the CEO of GE and I did all this and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
And like everyone is just like, yo, this cat actually just horrible temperament. Yeah, just
Right.
can't work with this guy
Yeah.
like, or this girl. Like, impossible.
Right.
Yeah, like so the resume stuff, that's what I'm saying. Like, it's not, these are things you don't cleanly pick up on a resume. So values, temperament, and do you have good judgment?
Mm.
Yeah. Like, do you actually just make good decisions?
Yeah.
And how do you make those decisions?
Yeah.
Again, people say, oh, look at my resume, blah, 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 blah,
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you go and call, man, horrible decision maker. Can never make good decisions. Just has bad judgment.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, just terrible judgment.
Yeah.
And that's my point around, like, I think, strangely enough, voters are actually really good at picking up on those things than they are about, like, oh my God, they went to Yale Law School and they were this and that and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
Nobody fucking cares. Like, do you have those three things?
Yeah.
And in essence, how have you lived your life
in
a way that demonstrates that?
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of the time I will say, a campaign tests you in those ways too.
Yeah.
That's the other job interview.
Yeah.
Like, you know, when you have to show good temperament. You have to have good judgment.
Mm-hmm.
You have to align in a value set.
Yeah.
And so, I'm totally on board. Like, I think the whole, like, let's go down the resume. And by the way, all those people have been elected.
Yeah.
And guess what? They have all gotten us into the bullshit that we're in today. Yeah, no, seriously.
Yeah.
All of those people, oh man, tell me your resume, blah, blah, blah. This,
right.
Housing sucks. Transit sucks. Prices suck. Wages suck. Opportunity sucks. So, okay. So much for that.
Right. You got experience, but it's a bad experience.
Experience running us into the ground. Great.
Yeah.
Bring in the next guys. Like, I don't want to hear these people anymore.
Yeah.
Like, so that to me would be my counter to that.
That's good.
And not because, look, on paper, people would say, wow, this guy has a lot of experience, like credentials, blah, blah, blah. But I generally don't over-index on that stuff. Like, because again, can I trust you?
Yeah.
Do you have good judgment?
Yeah.
Are you the type of person who takes feedback well?
Yeah.
Yeah, you'd be shocked. Everyone's, oh, you need thick skin to go into politics. Bro, I've met all these politics. Everybody thin-skinned.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I remember when he called me a name and he was on that. I'm like, what are we talking about here? Like, get over it. Like, hey, you don't see me crying like, about losing a race. Like, it is what it is. Like, and so those, and I think I noted it, character.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's about character. Yeah, I think about the people I grew up with, people who raised me.
Yeah.
Enormous character.
Yeah.
Yeah, people, high integrity.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you could trust them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, they had good judgment. They had the right set of values.
Yeah.
And that's what I think in politics, at least in the New York and in the country writ large. I mean, Donald Trump is the president, for Christ's sake.
Yeah.
We're just missing people with high character.
Yeah.
And that's my hope is like, you know, again, I'm not saying you need to be a saint.
Yeah.
But like, you know, people who have the right stuff generally have those things going for them.
Right.
But, you know, sometimes that hasn't been always rewarded.
Yeah.
So.
Okay. I want to do a quick activity, a fun activity. And so I feel like if you haven't watched this episode so far, people would know about you that you are running for comptroller.
Right.
They would know that you come from a family of refugees.
Yeah.
Up
from the mud.
You know? But I don't know how much they know about Adem outside of the candidate.
Right.
So what I want to do is a quick activity where I'm going to introduce myself to you.
Yeah.
And I can't reference what I do professionally. So I'm going to say, I'm gonna model it, and then I want you to mirror it to me. All right?
Okay.
Let's try it. So hi, Adem. My name is Imani.
Yeah.
I am a poet. I am a music lover. I love hip hop music.
Uh-huh.
I am a Christian.
Uh-huh.
I am an Army brat. I've moved around the world. You might not know about this, but I'm also from a family who's from Kenya. I'm a first generation. I'm from East Africa, just like you are.
Okay. Jumbo.
Yeah, Jumbo. I am a newly married.
Oh,
I got married.
Welcome to the club.
Thank you.
Oh, downhill.
I got married.
At least on the bank account side.
I've already experienced that. It's been 8 months already. But yeah, that's who I am. That's a bit of who I am outside of my job or what I do. So I want people to know a little bit more about you. So what's up, Adam?
Yeah. What's up, man? Where do we begin? I guess my wife's going to kill me. We are reality TV enthusiasts.
Okay.
90 Day Fiance.
Okay.
I don't really watch TV outside of just like reality TV for a whole host of reasons. Easy, you can plug in, channel it whenever. My wife will crack up when she hears it. I more or less just listen to trap music.
Okay.
Yeah.
I really wish my co-host Conrad was Conrad is a big trap music.
Yeah. My wife thinks it's just strip club music. That's basically what it is. So Future, Gunna.
Yeah.
Where do we go? All kinds. So that on that front.
I gotta pause you. Who is if you have a Mount Rushmore of trap music?
Oh man,
I think there's a right answer, and there's only one right answer. But I'm curious to hear what you think.
Oh, Future.
Okay, right, we got
four faces.
We got 4 faces. Of Future. Okay,
little baby. Okay, baby. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Future.
Okay.
But I think Boss Man D-Lo's actually
okay.
He's a wave too. But I think that would be the other. The other is it's funny. I probably read books, like physical books.
Yeah.
More so than
anything
like
else?
In the papers or anything. Yeah, like I think you'll see when you stay married over a long period, life just sort of condenses. Reality TV, Spotify, whatever. City biker.
Yeah.
Huge city biker.
When I was living in the city, I got a bike during COVID and it changed my...
You see, I don't actually have a bike.
Really?
Yeah, I just ride the electric ones.
Got you.
Very easy. I think they reduced the speed though, which is probably a good thing for everybody involved. So city biker, future enthusiast, reality TV enthusiast. I don't I read the physical paper.
Yeah.
Big on handwritten notes.
Okay.
I write literally. Penmanship is still a thing.
Yeah. Still write cursive? I know cursive is a lost art these days.
It is. My mom and we were joking about this. We were lamenting about the fact that I guess kids literally don't have to write anymore. Wow. It's all kind of like iPad.
Digital, right?
Yeah, it's all digital. Man, this is making me just seem like some old hag.
Stop it.
But and then big foodie. Yeah. Big foodie.
You grew up in Queens?
Grew up in Queens.
So I say that because I've only been in New York about 8 years now.
Yeah.
And I haven't spent enough time in Queens, but what I have heard is that Queens is the best food borough out of all the boroughs.
Yeah, it's probably the best food. Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, I mean, if you want literally just any type of food, if you want to eat Himalayan yak, you can go to Queens. You're going to find that in Queens.
Yeah.
Big foodie. My big thing is... I'm like a burger enthusiast.
Okay.
Yeah. Probably not good for my cholesterol. What is it? HDL? LDL? I don't know which one is the bad one. But yeah, that's what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess I used to love playing basketball, but not anymore.
Yeah.
I've torn both of my Achilles. It's Yeah. Welcome. Old age.
Yeah, basketball is still kind of a pastime for me. I try
a
weekend or two a month.
Yeah, mess around, tear an ACL.
Actually, I tore my ACL 2 years ago.
Hey.
Playing football, not flag football, not football.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm at the age where
it's not.
I can't hang it up yet, but I think my body is saying otherwise.
Yeah, it is. But no, that's what I would say. I mean, reality TV and future.
Got you.
That's where it starts.
I appreciate you sharing that.
I know, my wife. Come on, what the heck?
All right. So we are almost at the end of the episode.
Okay.
And as an attorney and as a cliche attorney, we like to end every episode giving some kind of closing argument, closing statement. Sure. And this, you can do whatever you want with it. You can address the people who are going to watch this and considering whether they want to vote for you or not. You can just give any kind of message you want.
Right.
But I can go first and I can let you think about what you want to share. I think my message has been pretty much the same for anybody who I've had on here to talk about local politics. And it's to continue to encourage them to care.
Right.
What I've realized is that I think the care is going to happen organically. Like I'm at a point where I just got married. We're thinking about having kids. And what that means is I'm thinking about childcare. I'm thinking about education. I'm thinking about housing for a family. And as these life decisions progress, it's only natural that I'm starting to think about, okay, well, who controls these things?
Right.
Who has the power to impact housing? Who has the power to impact childcare? Who has the power to impact all these things? So if people are not going to automatically wake up one day and care about politics, fine. I just ask that they think about the trajectory of their lives, think about how they want their lives to be impacted, and consider who has the ability to really impact it. And I hope that that will lead them to, okay, these are people who are really in these positions. Maybe I should vote. Maybe I should read up on them. Maybe I should be a bit more involved in the decisions that impact my life. So I encourage people to just care a little bit more about them, care a little bit more about the people around them. And I hope that that will mean that they will be a bit more interested in local politics.
Yeah, I think that's a great, I would say this. I mean, for me, it's really about, it's easy not to care. And that's why I say the struggle is hard.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna BS people. Like, this is a very difficult thing that we're trying to accomplish.
Yeah.
Set aside even running for state comptroller, but rewriting a broken contract that everyone agrees is not working, right? This idea that if I play by the rules, do what I'm supposed to do, you know, a life with dignity should be within reach.
Yeah.
I think most people believe that that is not true.
Right.
And the question that we have to engage in is, what are we willing to do to rewrite this contract? And my view is we have to be prepared to do things that at their core are fundamentally going to be disruptive.
Right.
Largely because I just think the status quo or the approach within the status quo isn't going to address the structural failure anymore. Like, if you're telling me legislation is going to help solve the housing crisis, nah, I don't believe that anymore.
Right.
If you're telling me that, like, we're going to get a handle on prices, whether it be electricity, Con Ed, by simply saying, you know, we're going to hope that Con Ed does the right thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's not going to happen. And so when you go down that list, transit, wages, prices, what are we willing and prepared to do to rewrite the social contract? And my view is you have got to be willing to leave it all on the field.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, then I think we can actually solve it. Like, it feels hard, but it's actually within reach. Now, I think what's the more radical, or actually the more crazy thing, is to do nothing. As my mom says, hope's not a strategy. Yeah, you need hope.
Yeah.
Well, it's not a strategy.
Right.
And so the question is can we marry hope with the willingness to fight
Right.
for what we believe to be a moral, just, and fair world. And by the way, not because it's only the right thing to do, but it also threatens the economic architecture.
Right.
That's why I think the job is so important.
Yeah.
We have to reimagine this economic architecture. Otherwise, yeah, all of us are going to be in Charlotte or Atlanta. It's not going to be in New York. It's going to feel more like Dubai.
Right.
And to be quite honest, I don't know if you've been to Dubai. I don't want to live in Dubai.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I have no interest in living in Dubai.
Got you.
And so that would be my closing argument. And I would hope that my life experience, that biography, that set of values that the village who raised me, to bring that to bear, because I think, in fact, those are the very people whom I believe are going to be most disproportionately impacted if we don't solve this problem.
Got you.
So, yeah.
Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, I appreciate it.
All right, y'all. We have come to the end of another episode of the Brothers-in-Law podcast. It's been a pleasure to get to know you. I can't wait for the people to get to know you. I wish you the utmost luck with the campaign.
Yeah.
Got me sold.
Tell my wife.
But yeah, it's been an honor. It's been a pleasure to have you.
It's a real treat, a real joy. I appreciate y'all and keep up.
Thank you.
Yeah, man, y'all are doing the Lord's work, literally.
I appreciate that.
That's real.
Appreciate that. With that being said, we've come to the end of the episode. Please enjoy the rest of y'all months and stay tuned for the next and upcoming episodes of the Brothers-in-Law podcast. We out.